Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk. Bei mir heute RNC, früher oder bei uns besser bekannt als Royal Nickel. Ich habe einen Conflict of Interest, ich bin Aktionär. Ich habe auch die Company schon mehrmals bei mir auch besprochen. Habe es zum Glück vor ungefähr, glaube ich, 3 Monaten nochmal nachgekauft bei 16, 17 Cent. Momentan sind wir deutlich höher und ja, das hat auch seinen Grund. Und warum? Das werden wir den CEO selber fragen, in Mark Selby, und er ist CEO und President. Mark, thank you to have time.
Thank you.
I said in my German introduction, first I have a conflict of interest, I'm shareholder.
Yep.
And I was a little bit lucky, normally I'm always too early. Yes, for my first portion I was really too early,
Yep.
but I bought a little bit more shares before Christmas.
Excellent.
So it was a good timing.
So did I.
Yeah. So and we had a pretty good run. The reason was I must say the reason is that nickel coming a little bit in favor of the market.
Yes.
And now you get the big push through the nickel Kobalt project what you have. Then
Yes.
The nickel Kobalt project what you have is the largest undeveloped Kobalt project in the world.
Yes.
And at the moment, the share price is coming a little bit back. One of the big shareholders make a decision that he sell the stock.
Yeah.
Do you know why he will he sold the stock or want to sell?
Oh, I don't know specifically, but he originally bought into the company when we were very focused on our gold asset. At this point in time now, with nickel and cobalt where it is, our attention's turning to Dumont. As you said, it's the largest undeveloped cobalt and the largest undeveloped nickel reserve in the world. So we think the timing for it for the electric vehicle market, is pretty close to perfect.
But I'm quite sure when you set up the company, the electrician market or the vehicle market was not really the major focus for you, or not?
No, we developed Dumont because we knew there was a real shortage of nickel projects. We knew, in 2010 we were going to go through 4 or 5 years of downturn with the nickel pig iron that came from China. But once we got on the other side of that, there's very few projects in the nickel pipeline. So EVs were always an added bonus, but underlying demand growth from stainless steel and the traditional uses has been more than 5% for a decade. So it's already been a pretty strong demand story, and this EV is just going to add on top of it. So again, having Dumont taking it from a resource right through to fully permitted, shovel ready. We just need to get the financing in place this year, and as I said, we'll be pretty well timed to hit the demand coming from the EV sector as well as.
But this is a very big project.
Yes.
We say it is the largest undeveloped nickel and cobalt, but that mean also for me the capex will be high.
Yes. Yep. It's $1 billion capex. We're building. In scale wise, it's actually more of a small to mid-size open pit copper operation like you'd see in Chile or the Southwest U.S. or in South America, at 50,000 ton a day. So. In our area, in the Abitibi region of Quebec, you had a Cisco build a 50,000 ton a day open pit operation for just under $1 billion, and then Detour, who's in a little more remote part of the Abitibi, built a similar size operation for just over $1 billion. So our capex is targeted about $1 billion US. We worked with Asenco, who's one of the leading engineering firms. They have a great track record of actually building projects on time, on budget. So, we're quite comfortable with that estimate. And again, from a financing perspective, I know, that's always a particular, again, where our current market cap is, but, we've got a path forward where we don't think we'll need to do a large equity raise. We've been working in the past with a large Scandinavian bank to have a project bond in place, which would be along with the typical equipment financing would be about 60% of the capital.
Okay.
We would look to do a cobalt and PGM stream, very small on the cobalt, a little more on the PGMs because no one's going to buy us for our PGMs, and we have a very long life resource. That'll add another 10% of the capital. Quebec tends to be very supportive of mining projects, and if you look at other projects and the kind of level of support, we could expect somewhere in the range of 10% of the capital as well, which leaves just 200 million of the billion to go. And we've been in discussions with the large Japanese trading houses who we have relationships with from our Inco days, about coming in as a project partner. Today in the EV sector, there's lots of news about automakers wanting to get deals and want to get access. We are in discussions with some of those companies, and so
also from Europe.
various places around the world.
Okay.
So we're very confident that we'll either sell a portion of the project off, 20 or 30% of our combined interests, or we'll have a slug of capital that will come in as part of a large offtake financing. So
the project itself is a JV with Wochen.
Yes.
So who is the lead in the project? Wochen or more?
Yeah,
you?
no, RNC is the operator,
Yep.
so we're there to make all the day-to-day decisions. There's a subset of decisions where we both have to agree.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So but you are in the driving seat.
Yeah, we're in the driver's seat. Yeah. So
Okay. One other question. Now it's really the nickel is coming back. You're set up as a Royal Nickel Corp, so there was always the focus.
the key focus. Yeah.
But then it's gold coming on. Then you bought VMS Ventures.
Yeah.
You get the stream here, and when you look now outside, from outside, it looks like you have here nickel, we have cobalt, we have gold, we have a stream here.
Yeah.
So 30% interest in read mine. What you're doing with the rest?
Sure. Yeah. So, the company was originally founded around Dumont. We picked up some great exploration properties and made a very exciting gold discovery on one of them. And now we've spun that entity out into its own Orford Mining, which has got two very highly prospective gold properties. So again, we've got a new management team in managing that asset. In terms of the gold and copper, so Reed and Beta Hunt, when we bought it in early 2016, we had a 20 million market cap and a 10 million EV. And we were able to pick up some, producing assets that we, would help deliver some cash flow, to bridge to the time when Dumont and nickel were going to come back into fashion. So, that time has now come, and our focus is returning into Dumont. So, Reed runs out later this year, and with the gold asset, again, we've been approached by some companies who have an interest in it. So, again, I'm a big shareholder myself.
The focus is the
squarely on Dumont.
The nickel and the cobalt,
Yeah.
and the rest spin out. And you do something in the meantime, so where you wait that the nickel wave and the cobalt wave is coming.
Yes, and now we're here. So the focus turns back to Dumont.
Coming to timelines.
Yep.
So you said this year you're working on the financing side.
Yes.
So is it realistically that when we next year meet us again, then you say, okay, financing done, we now are going to the phase of permitting, production or whatever?
Yeah, we're fully permitted.
Okay, so there's no hurdle.
So we have an impact benefits agreement in place with the First Nations group. We've been working on the financing since the nickel spike in 2014, so we're well down the path with a number of sources. So we expect to have that in place by year end to be able to make a construction decision. And again, sitting here right now, my view is that we're either financed and in construction by this point next year, or we'll be taken out. There's very few large-scale battery metal projects that are sitting where we are today, and so if we don't get our share price moving and get the project moving forward, then someone else is we become a very easy takeover target.
Okay, what we can expect in the meantime? So when we say, okay, now wait 1 year to do this or that, haven't so.
Yeah, there'll be a series of financing announcements that come out, as we put the different pieces of the stack together. By year end, we'll update our feasibility study to bring it current to the current date. That the underlying operating capital's cost will all stay the same. It's just a matter of currencies are different, oil prices are different than back when we first did it. And so you'll see that come out. And as I said, that news flow towards year end.
And also from the gold project we will see.
You'll see some decisions around what we do with that asset and how it moves forward. So.
Okay, so then hopefully, or I don't know what is the best for us as a shareholder. Is maybe you take it out or you bring it in production? I don't know.
Yeah, but we're looking at
But it's good when one or the other will come.
Yeah, we're fully staffed to take it all the way into production.
Yeah, I think
and so that's our focus. You can't help when people show up, but our view is to get it into construction, get the value up as high as possible, to make sure that if someone does come, they're going to pay a very high price to do it. And we'll both make money.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely on your side. Mark, thank you for this first introduction to your company. It's not really a first introduction, then I know exactly the company. My people know the company, and most of them are also shareholders. But thank you for this update. Ja, jetzt, er hat gesagt, und das war, glaube ich, die wichtigste Aussage, nächstes Jahr werden wir wissen, ob die Company, also will das entweder in Produktion bringen oder sie sind dann aufgekauft worden. Sie haben das Projekt, sie waren immer auf Nickel fokussiert, Nickel-Kobalt muss man eigentlich sagen, und das ist das größte unentwickelte oder nicht entwickelte Nickel-Kobalt-Projekt der Welt und auch sehr hochgradig, und es ist alles, die Permitting sind alles in place, da gibt es kein Problem. Es geht nur mehr um die Finanzierung. Finanzierung ist ungefähr 1 Milliarde, 50% gehört ja vom Projekt her, 60% können es, the 60% you finance out of?
Would be a project bond.
Project Bond, yes. Also wird über einen Projektbond, also Anleihe finanziert. Die restlichen 20% können Sie durch Stream und durchs Government abdecken, und 20% der reden von ungefähr 200 Millionen reden mit, haben sehr, sehr gute Kontakte zu Händlern, die das wahrscheinlich auch finanzieren, sodass sie keine Dilution auf die Aktie mehr sehen. So that's mean from the financing side we don't hopefully see not dilution on the stock price. Then we hate dilution.
Yes, yeah.
Hopefully you too.
I do. I most certainly do. Yeah.
So, also keine Verwässerung mehr auf der Aktienseite, weil den Rest können so finanzieren. Wenn dazwischen einer kommt, der das kauft, ja, auch recht, kann man nichts machen, aber dann muss er wenig schauen, dass der Preis so hoch ist, dass der so viel wie möglich bezahlen, denn es ist eben, wie gesagt, das größte, nicht entwickelte Nickel-Kobalt-Projekt der Welt. Auch interessant, was er gesagt hat, ist, dass immer mehr Anfragen kommen von Anwendern, Batterienanwendern, ob das jetzt zum Automobil oder sonst irgendwas sind, auch aus allen Teilen der Welt. Also ich habe mir speziell mal nachgefragt, ob aus Europa was dabei ist, oder aus der ganzen Welt. Und meine Frage war auch, Sie sind ja irgendwie so ein Gemischmann-Ding. Sie haben Nickel, Kobalt, Sie haben aber auch Ihr Goldprojekt und Sie haben auch den Stream vom VMS. Was passiert? Der Stream läuft aus am Ende des Jahres. Dann das Goldprojekt ist ja jetzt das größte Asset eigentlich und immer da schon in den letzten Jahren das größte Asset war, wird schauen, dass er das Projekt wahrscheinlich abgibt oder verkauft. Dann Explorationsprojekte haben Sie gehabt, das haben Sie schon jetzt an den Markt gebracht und halten es nur 45%. Auch hier ist es so, dass das wahrscheinlich abgeben werden. So, das heißt, Sie konzentrieren sich voll auf das Nickel-Kobalt-Projekt, ist auch jetzt von der Phase richtig, und entweder, und das ist einfach die Konklusion, nächstes Jahr fangen Sie an schon um diese Zeit, dass Sie in Konstruktion sind, oder sind Sie dann aufgekauft worden. Ich glaube, das eine Jahr können wir noch abwarten. Beides sollte sehr, sehr positiv sein. Ich habe ihm gesagt, was wäre aus Shareholder besser. Er hat gemeint, im Long Run ist natürlich, wenn Sie ins Produktionsbringen, natürlich besser, weil dann der Revenue natürlich für die Aktionäre größer ist, als wie wenn es ein Großer einfach übernimmt. Aber das liegt nicht in seinen Händen. Das werden wir dann nächstes Jahr um diese Zeit sehen. Das war's von RNC PDEC 2018. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Hopefully.
Yep.
And least next year.
Yes.
And then we know more.
Exactly.